They say good girls follow the rules. They smile, they show up, they keep it together. But you, we know behind that polished exterior, there's a whole lot of anxiety. Hi, I'm Sam, chronic overthinker and host of Good Girls Have Anxiety. This podcast is for anyone who's ever looked calm on the outside, but was secretly spiraling over that one text they sent 3 days ago. Each week, we dive into the messy, hilarious, and sometimes uncomfortable truth about mental health, people-pleasing, boundaries, burnout, and why saying no still makes some of us sweat like we're on trial. We're talking real talk, zero fluff, just honest conversations with a few laughs, and maybe a bit of swearing, or a lot of swearing. Because being a good girl doesn't always mean you're okay all the time. And having anxiety doesn't make you any less powerful, lovable, or worthy. This is Good Girls Have Anxiety. Take a breath, unclench your jaw. You're in the right place.
If parenthood has done anything for me, it has made me more confident in who I am, I've never been so confident about anything in my life as I have been about motherhood.
Really?
I swear to you, like...
I'm the opposite.
Really?
I'm the opposite.
I was not a very strong person internally, externally. Like, my entire life has always been... Oh, yeah. Even now, like...
Really?
I've told you a couple stories where, like, my kindness has been taken for weakness, and I've done the work to be like, okay, do I want to change who I am just because you're taking advantage of who I am? Or do I want to just move on and be somebody who can be like, that's a you thing? Like, even after this, I did a lot of self-work. Like, after this woman, like, yelled at me, I was like, is there something wrong with my social etiquette? Like, is there something where I'm a disrespectful person? Like, what did I do to deserve that? And it's like, wait, this sounds like she was having a bad day and she took it out on me, even though she said it wasn't a bad day. I can't internalize this for very long.
Yeah.
Whereas 10 years ago, I would internalize this. I'd be still, like, I hopefully won't think about this, in a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
But if this happened to me 10 years ago, like, there's so many things that happened 10 years ago that I'm still working through. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, like, motherhood made you more confident in yourself.
Also, my first divorce.
Oh, that's valid. I feel like that's a really big one.
It was huge. And I just was like unapologetically myself, but also like had to really, really fall in love with myself in order to fall in love with my now partner.
Yeah. And I feel like I did that with Andrew.
That's amazing.
Like when I was 18, obviously everybody grows a lot between 18 and 31. I hope so, at least. Mm-hmm. But I was very insecure. I've always been this like odd level of very confident in some ways and very insecure in others. And I feel like that's where I have been maybe misunderstood, is that people in my life have always viewed me as very confident. Yeah. And when I was young, I wasn't.
But that's a response to anxiety, to being insecure. Like the anxiety, like I used to be like hyper, crazy Kate. Yes. Like it was like a persona that I put on. I was in a lot of people who struggle with depression project as somebody very confident. Yeah.
But the thing with me is that it wasn't projecting. It was in some ways, but it wasn't in others. I am very confident in myself and in me as a person. I think everybody is different and it's okay that I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm genuinely okay with that.
How long have you been okay with that though?
Arguably, that's always been a part of me.
Okay. Can I ask you something though? Because I feel like something that I've struggled with is like I never felt like I had a safe home base, and like I was always jealous of people who had like siblings that like they were really close with, or like parents that they were really close with, and like or like aunts and uncles. Like I never felt like I had a completely safe home base. So I would always be looking for that externally, and I couldn't, and I didn't realize that I could find that within myself. So like there were a lot of times where I would just like cry by myself in an empty house because like my mom was with her boyfriend, and like my brother was with my dad, and I would just be at home. And then I started having all these like house parties because like I needed other people for validation and love. And then it wasn't until that divorce, because he was also my escape, it wasn't until that divorce where I was like, okay, like I need to find out how to like love myself so that if I'm completely alone forever, I'm going to be okay with that. And that took a lot of work that didn't even just come from therapy. It came from like just kind of like journaling to myself and like saying like really cheesy things that were almost like nauseating. But through that, I discovered how to like love myself and be like, okay, like this is who I am. And I'm not talking like even appearance wise. I still struggle appearance wise, but like my personality, like I've said this before, where like if somebody were to call me a bitch, I'd be like, I'm fine with you calling me a bitch. Because if my personality is taken as a bitch, cool. Because if my bitchiness comes from a place of like, A, protecting my family, B, protecting myself, like just overall, like
I'm powerful in my voice.
Powerful in my voice, yes.
It's not that I'm not a bitch. I do care about how I make other people feel. In the moment, I am very powerful in my voice and strong in my convictions. And that might come off as an attack to somebody that isn't as strong in their own voice. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that's a you issue, not a me issue, because I do leave conversations often and be like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't, because that, I can see how that would maybe make you feel this way. I think about it all after the fact. In the moment, I'm very much like just being me, saying how I feel. And of course, trying to be considerate. But afterwards, when I leave a situation, I'm like, oh, fuck, like all of us anxious gals do. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, I hope that they didn't feel like that was invalidating their experience, or that was meaning that I think the way I think is not more better. The way I think is the correct way, or the way I go about the situation is better than the way they do. Yeah. Like how you and I disagree on the word girlies. You love it. You do you.
Yeah.
Like, we all have our own thing. I don't like that, but that doesn't mean I don't think you can like that, but I don't necessarily say that.
And yeah.
So that's where I feel like I understand where I can come across as a bitch. I can
but
understand
I don't think that's bitchy.
But that doesn't mean I'm a bitch. And I feel confident in knowing I'm not actually that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's fair. As long as you leave space for other people to be themselves. I don't even know if it would be bitchy, but like maybe self-righteous is the best word again, where like if people don't think like you, then they're wrong. And that, in my opinion, is so wrong.
Yeah. And I used to be that way.
Really?
Yeah, because I would say my family is very much that way. I hate to call them out. But yeah, a lot. It's like a trait of, I won't even say what branch of family members because I won't out them. But it's like a trait that is like a curse of our family, is that it's very much like,
it's my way or the
highway. Black and white. Very black and white thinking. Very like skull-headed. Like they just fight about everything all the time because everybody thinks that they're right. Yeah. And so that's something that when I was young, I definitely felt that way. But then going to university and like, I don't know, just meeting people that are very different than me and my family definitely helped me change that. And I feel like I am very open. But my default is quite black and white. Like, not so much anymore. When I was younger, I was a lot more close-minded, I would say.
It sounds like you kind of knew who you were at a young age.
But yeah, I definitely did.
That's really cool.
Yeah. But at the same time, I was extremely self-conscious of my physical appearance. Mm-hmm. And I think that came from growing up around parents that weren't maybe as confident in their own body as well. That I feel like that just was always something that I felt. So looking back at it, I wasn't fat, but I sure thought I was. I actually really want to do an episode with, and she said she is open to coming on, my friend Alyssa McMasters, because she is like a confidence coach.
I love that.
And I think this conversation I would love to have on the pod with her. But yeah, I think that I grew up being told indirectly, although nobody was saying it, in my head, I was being told that I was fat. So I identified as that. And looking back, I wasn't, but I felt like being fat was the end of the world because in that time period, it was like
in the 2000s.
Yeah, it really was.
If you weren't 105 pounds.
Yeah, you could wear jeans that are barely grazing your pubic bone without a belly hanging over it. Like, you're fat. And being fat isn't a good thing. And so I really internalized that. And I struggled a lot with my self-confidence in that way. Mm-hmm. But me as a person, I actually haven't struggled with confidence. Mm-hmm. So I'm somebody who is deeply insecure, but also deeply confident at the same time. And those two things definitely existed at once. And as I've gotten older, I've done a lot of work on my body image. And it's so awesome that I feel like becoming a mother has made me a lot more confident in myself as well. But on the flip side, also gives me another thing to be insecure about, which is me as a mother. Mm. And I think it just goes to show that I care, but I feel a lot of guilt in motherhood that I haven't ever felt in life before. So I feel like mentally it's like I'm at war with myself when I wasn't before, of like, am I doing enough? Am I doing it this right. I see on social media, here are all these amazing things to say when your kid comes to you and says blah blah blah. You're like, here's this script that obviously they've rehearsed and formulated, and now they're just saying in a reel. And like, I'm like, why couldn't I have just had the perfect response at that perfect time? Well, because I'm fucking human. But it doesn't mean I don't feel that way. Yeah. So like, I'm interested to hear how you feel, that you feel solid in yourself in motherhood.
I still think that I doubt myself, but I also feel like I'm very checked in with reality, where like I'm always doing my best. I'm always working to be the best mom that I can be. And that's where I'm confident. I'm confident that I'm trying my best. Yeah. Not that I'm an amazing mom. I'm confident that I'm trying my best, and that if I need to check myself, like I'm very in tune with like, okay, I know that right now I need to take a step back. Mm-hmm. And I talk to myself, and like, not like in a weird way, but like, you know, like there's a lot of moments of realization where I go, I know that I can do better next time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of acknowledging the moments where I could do better and acknowledging the moments that I've done really good. Like the moment that she slammed the door and then re-shut it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a moment where she's hearing me. Or like when she, like that moment that Janie articulated to you yesterday, where like she knows that she needs space. Like that's a moment where like I feel like you have to really recognize, okay, I've done something right. I could have been doing like so many things that we still need to work on. But knowing that I'm so confident that I'm raising a kind little girl who can articulate her emotions a reasonable amount.
Yes, yeah.
And that she's described as a kind person, and she knows that she can come to me for hugs. Like those are the like, it's not the picking apart the little moments, it's seeing her and be a happy child where I know that I'm doing it right.
Which is very interesting for me to listen to, because I do feel like listening to you, I'm like, yes, absolutely. That is, but I wouldn't apply that to myself.
But that's what you have to recognize and celebrate the moments that are great, so that you can work on the moments that aren't.
Well, I do definitely acknowledge, and like with what my Betty, Dr. Becky says, you really work on repair. So you have a situation that didn't go the way you wanted. Wait till the temperature has cooled and you talk about it in your repair. Hey, Mom got a little angry and I wasn't as patient as I should have been. I'm really sorry, honey. We're going to work on that together. And we definitely do that. I do a lot of things that, sure, I do think are like good parent moves. But for me, I'm never satisfied unless I hit perfection, which will never happen. So I definitely have the not good enough. I always should be doing more, which can lead me into what I kind of wanted to touch on today, which is burnout. Because I never feel like I've done enough. Even like with parenthood, with work, I'm currently pursuing photography full time. I'm like trying to really develop and grow a business so that way I don't have to go back to a full-time job that makes me feel unhappy. But then here I am at home working. I have a baby at home, my toddler in preschool, which is daycare full time. Mm-hmm. I feel guilty about the fact that she's not home with me, because technically she could be. But then if she was, I'm going to spitball you what is in my brain, and this is going to be my therapy session, okay? So here's where I feel a lot of guilt. I could have my daughter home with me, but I'm choosing not to, because when she's home with me, I don't have the patience for her all day long. And I feel guilty about that because it's just a lot. Like I feel like I'm going to snap, because I do snap at her more when we're together 24/7. I can't be patient and calm enough. I can't be the mom I want to be when I'm on 24/7. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. And I say that, and I know that that's okay. And so she's in school. She loves it. She's having a great time. There's no reason I need to feel like I'm not a good mother because of that, but I do, because our moms all stayed, well, my mom, Andrew's mom, most moms I know stayed home with their kids. And it wasn't this like big daunting thing that they didn't feel like they could do. But for me, being a stay-at-home mom is all I ever wanted to do. And then I had my daughter and I was like, oh, fuck, I can't do this. Like, I don't have it in me to be home with this child that I love so dearly. I just don't have the patience to like keep it together for that many hours a day. And I can't be that mom that I want to be and be that soft place to land, because I'm going to scream at you because I can't fucking keep my temper cool all day long.
But do you ever just like think of it as the journey?
No.
Okay, well, then maybe it's like restructuring your mind to think of the journey. Like, there's no destination that you're working on
But you never
now.
get these years back.
That's why it's the journey. This is you're living the life right now.
I know.
Be part, and I'm not saying like have her stay home every day. I'm not saying that at all.
And I do keep her home some days, but
this is the journey. Yeah. This is the stuff that like you can't get this time back. Like
eats at me. And when people say the like, you know, that whole social media thing of like, you only get how many summers and blah, blah. I'm like, this is what keeps me up at night. Don't remind me.
Why are we thinking about them at 18 years old like that? Like, I don't like that so much either, because there shouldn't be the guilt of like right now. Right now, I'm going to make every day that I have with them the best days. But sometimes those best days means that they're going off with their friends for 8 hours, or they're going to day home for 8 hours, or she's going to, you know, whatever for a couple hours, and having the things that make us, like having this, like this is therapy. This is good for my daughter and my son because mommy's getting her outlet. I'm getting my time. It could just be a pedicure, like, and they're with, you know, whatever, like it's having the best version of you is the best thing for them.
Which is where I'm so torn, because with pursuing photography, I'm like that. The goal for me with that is that it works. I love it. I've always done it as something that I've really enjoyed doing. I love so many things about photography. I'm pretty good at it, if I do say so myself.
You are.
And it is something I could make a career of without having to go to an office job, which I did for years. And honestly, I just don't want to do that with kids. I don't want to do we go to daycare. I do before school care, after school care. In the summers, we're never home. Like, I want to have flexibility with my job, and I want to be able to do school drop off, school pickup. And so in my head, or like, you're sick for the day, it's fine. Like, we go on vacations when we want. I'm more present in the summers, but although photography is very busy in the summer, but in turn, that means I'm hustling right now. I am hustling right now. And this is the only year that Elliot's going to be an infant. So then I look and I'm like, well, if I'm doing this for our family, which in my head I am, which is the reason I'm working so hard, it's for later, but I feel like I'm missing a part of now. But I'm painfully aware of that. So I know that I'm putting a priority. I am putting a big priority into not missing right now. But it's the fear that by being so busy, I'm missing the glory days. I've romanticized what being on maternity leave is.
You're missing the journey.
That I'm so stuck in my head with it that I'm so busy I can't take a step back, because I'm like, the truck is moving and I'm on board. And if I hop off, the truck's going away without me and I'm fucking myself over. And then I gotta go get a job, and then it's gonna be hard to pursue photography. So I'm just like, I don't know. And then I'm staying up till 2 a.m. editing because I'm trying to be present for my family, and I'm being involved with dinners, and we're taking a day and going to Heritage Park. We're doing all these fun things, but then I'm not prioritizing photography. So then I stay up late, and then I wake up with my son, and then in the morning I'm up. So I'm running on 5 hours of sleep, all while I'm a woman. I have to work on myself too. She needs also time to exercise and go to therapy and go get your massage and do all these things. And so therefore my head is on a swivel. I just feel like my head is spinning at all moments. And this is actually good for me right now, because I felt very calm before I started talking about this, and I feel it physically right now. Like, I feel it. I'm moved into my head and out of my body, and I just feel like movement going in my head, just thinking about how I am building a house of cards right now that is bound to fall. Like, I need a way to like slow this down, because I feel like I'm missing my kids' youth. I'm not doing everything because I don't half-ass anything. And so I want to do everything perfectly. And if it's not perfect, I haven't done it. So like, I'm training for a triathlon right now. And of course I'm missing training sessions. Triathlon doesn't even matter. It's like, I don't care if I walk the run. I just want to have a goal and accomplish it. But then why do I feel like, oh, I'm not running my 5K yet, so therefore I didn't even run? Like, it's like this very high bar I've set for myself that I don't set for anybody else, and nobody's set for me. So why do I feel like, even though I acknowledge that bar is arbitrary and not good for me, but I still deeply inside feel like if I don't hit it, why even try?
Do you feel like you acknowledge it? Because I feel like you say it out loud, but it doesn't look like you're acknowledging it.
And that's the thing. And like, I've talked to my therapist about it. We definitely need to do more work. In fact, the last time we left off, she was like, I think there's really something we need to dive deep into there. And I was like, well, yes, but I don't have the capacity. Like, I don't have the time. I still go to therapy once a week. I don't know if Andrew's okay with me sharing this, but it's with my daughter. It's not for her, but it's for our attachment relationship. So I'm going to therapy weekly. It's not that I don't prioritize that, because I hate when people say I don't have the time, because I think your priorities, and this is me giving myself a message, because it's just where your priority is. But I have a lot of very important priorities right now to me. And that's where I'm like, well, what do I drop? Because I can't do this all. And I've dropped sleep, which is not sustainable. So like, what's going to give?
Do you make lists?
So many lists. And I'm so ADHD that I make a list and I never follow through with that list.
Okay, that's what you need to do. Try that.
What?
Just making lists and crossing shit off.
No, I make so many lists.
But you cross it off?
Yeah. But then I have 5 different notebooks with 5 different lists and like 6 different lists going on in my phone.
You shouldn't have that many lists.
Well, I know, but that's the ADHD.
You have like a list for your list.
Exactly. But that's like the ADHD in me that's like spiraling out, because I don't have time to be like, I have the thought and I need to write it down. Yeah. But say I have a day where I'm like at my desk working. Well, that list for that day is on a notebook. I like a physical list. But say I'm out and I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta remember to do this. So I add it to a note on my phone. I'm gonna add that to my list later. But then today, now I gotta watch Elliot, who's playing down here, and get some work done. So now I'm working at the table instead of my desk. Oh, I gotta just make this other list. But I don't have time to like go get that other list, I'm like spiraling. Caitlin, I'm spiraling. But it does kind of work like, in that I do continually remember. So that's the other thing that I did have a therapist tell me, is that I always worry I'm going to forget, because I do. It's in my brain's tossing because I have so many moving pieces at all times, but it always comes back. If it's important, it's going to come back. So that's what I do tell myself, is that if it's important, it'll come back. And it does. I'm not 90, but it's just stressful. Anyways, I should go back to my therapist. That's what this has all told me.
I mean, I'm not like against therapy, but I feel like there's a certain point where like, if they're just telling you the same thing over and over and over again, so then like, yeah, go back to your therapist.
Yeah, I really should.
But like, have you tried any other type of therapy?
I've tried many different types of therapy.
Like the EMDR?
EMDR.
Did that not help?
So much.
Okay.
It helped incredibly. It changed my life.
Do you think it's like vagus nerve related? Because I mean, try Bowen.
Yeah, there's so many different things you can do. This therapist that I have now is so helpful. So yeah, she's exactly, but I need the time.
I'm very much like they say in relationships, there's often,
and you can't bring sorry, I'm interrupting. No, you can't bring your kids to therapy, which is the hard part. Yeah. That I have to go alone. And like, when do I have time alone?
Thanks for listening to Good Girls Have Anxiety. If you haven't already, please subscribe, follow, and share, as that's the best way to help our little podcast grow. Do they do virtual?
I hate virtual therapy.
Really?
I don't do it. I'd rather not waste my money. Oh. I don't connect. And I feel that way. Yeah,
That's fair. I don't feel like I connect either, but I just won't do therapy I haven't really enjoyed my therapy experiences recently.
You need to find one that really clicks with you, and and that works really well.
I had a really bad therapist once where like I just like needed Steve to understand me, and he wasn't. Like, yeah. And it was like a marriage like relationship kind of person, and first we get like a meeting with this really great guy. He could connect with Steve, and that's the thing is like Steve like needed somebody to like hear him, and so that we could articulate, because it went from I cleaned up everything was just done, and then when I had my first child, it was, you leave that glass there, like I'm gonna be like, why do I have to keep cleaning up after you, right? And it just seemed like I was nagging, and we just like weren't communicating well. And
such a common thing.
Such a common thing.
Yeah.
But I was just like trying to say like, hey, like, can you just clean up your own glass? Because like I've just been cleaning up everything, you know. And not like that he was a slob, but like I felt like overworked, and he felt like he was working, and like, you know.
And it's habits. Truly, it comes down to habits.
Exactly. And we fell in love very quickly, and like things moved very quickly, and then it became something where like we were just disconnected.
Yeah.
And which is so common after having a child.
And it will happen so many times throughout your marriage.
Yeah. And so we found like this really great guy, but his timing didn't work with our schedule.
That's what I'm running into now.
Ugh, it was so hard.
Yeah.
And then like the next one we got, she wouldn't let me use any like real time examples. She was like, nope, don't say anything that really happened. Like not like in those words. She's like, well, you can't like hold him responsible for things. I'm like, what's the point of this? So like there are bad therapists out there. It was so confusing.
I've seen some that I had one after Janie when I was really struggling. Or no, before, I don't know. It was when I was pregnant with one of the two of them. That it was the least helpful thing I have ever done. And I was like angry. I'd leave angry. I'm like, you just don't fucking understand. Like what I'm begging for is help to like figure out. For me, it's my ADHD. Like I don't want to be on medication. And so I just need practical like things that will help me get over. When I was pregnant, it was like this wall of awful I had built up. Like everything seemed so hard. I couldn't just start the task and do it. I just felt like unloading the dishwasher. I would sit there and just like dread it in my head so hard and for so long before. It would just take 5 minutes. Just go do it and it'll be done. But I couldn't get off my ass and do. And I was so hard on myself because I was like, why are you so lazy? And she's like, well, let's work on why you think being lazy is a bad thing. And I'm like, okay, well, I understand where you're coming from. I genuinely need to get off my ass and do something. So I'm looking for help to figure out how to like, it's just I have this block in my head that I need to just punch through and move on with my life. And she was like really big into talking, really big into like, well, let's talk more. And I'm like, okay, no, I need some like practical things, some tips, some like explain to me why this is happening. Cause just an explanation for me does wonders. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I can do it. There's just magical tricks therapists can play that to me remove the weight of things. And I don't know why or how it works, but it does. But not all do. And I have ended up with a good handful that I'm like, oh, you're just not it. Like, I don't want to sit here and talk about why I view being lazy. And she's like, but you're building life. Like, why do you feel like you're doing nothing? And I'm like, well, while I understand I'm building life, I have sat on this couch for 6 hours and that is not serving me. That is making me spiral more because sitting on the couch and doing nothing is not serving me at all. So I need help getting off of the damn couch. And her approach was like, I think removing the shame and the guilt around it, but like that was not what was not helpful for me. So it's definitely finding the right person that gives you what you want and need, and also what you didn't realize you wanted and needed. Yeah. But it's a lot of work to find the right one. But when you find the right one, it is life-changing.
Yeah, still not there.
Really?
But I just feel like I'm the right one right now. Like I've been so active and like I can figure out most things myself. Like, and that's also like my approach to life with everything.
Yeah.
That's why I went to hair school, because I didn't want to pay for somebody to do expensive hair, because that's money that I could have done, like gone to the movies or like done something with my friends, right? So like I just did it myself, and like, just like most things in life, like
piercing your ears,
like you piercing my ears.
I'm the same way.
Wanted to have them done for 3 years. I wanted that second hole done for 3 years, and I just didn't want to pay somebody $120 because that's something I could have got something for my daughter. Like I could have like had a day with her.
Can I really be the devil on your shoulder?
Yes.
And we can totally agree to disagree on this. I think therapy mental health is the one that you can't do that with, because when you're in this thought pattern, you're inside the thought pattern.
Yeah.
Your brain is that way because of a number of things.
Yeah.
But a therapist who is good and is from the outside can step in and kind of put like a pin in things and bring your awareness to things that you just can't have the like.
I've literally never had a therapist do that. I've seen probably 10 in my life.
Really?
I think one when I was like a preteen, so like when my parents like just divorced, and I saw this one, and she thought of herself as a universe coach, and she was so like light and fairy and airy, and she was like, we're all just students of the universe. And
I would hate that.
I actually thought it was really weird at the time.
Yeah.
And I ended up kind of like loving it because she seemed to like just get me and like get like down to earth with me. And she like had these like interesting activities. Like she'd be like, okay, so this situation just happened. I want you to stand on the color that you're feeling. And I would do that. And it was great because I was a preteen.
Yeah.
And I actually even saw her like in my older years. Like there was one day I was just like visiting home and like back in Ontario.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to book it with her. And then this is kind of sad. But I went to go book with her and she had passed. So that is the only one that I still kind of fall back on it because I was always kind of hopeful that like maybe there was like an associate of hers that like had like the similar theories and could work with me as an adult, but I haven't quite gotten there. And that's again in Ontario, but literally I've not found a single therapist since. And I was hopeful that I found it in that guy, and I should probably look him up, but I don't know. It just, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to like counselors and not like therapists. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just going to like to wrong people. I'm just not connecting.
Can shop around before doing a first appointment?
I don't think I know enough.
So when we moved here, I was like, I need to find somebody good because I need to line up the support postpartum because I really struggled postpartum with Janie. And so I was like, I need to have somebody good that I really like that can help me postpartum this time and set me up for birth and help me heal the trauma, my last birth. And so I have like an old friend is now a registered psychologist that works in Calgary. So I had reached out to her and I said, here are all of the things I'm looking for. Do you know of anybody that like fits what this is? And she gave me a list of like 5, and you can do a 15-minute consult with somebody to like talk to them and get to know them and decide before you even book an appointment. And so I really recommend doing that. So I think I talked to 4 or 5 different people, and then none of them were quite it. And then one of them suggested, she was like, although I would totally work with you, and I think this could be great. I think what you're saying is you really want this person. And I called her and immediately was like, you're my girl.
Wow.
And I've been seeing her. I saw her before Elliot was born. I've been seeing her postpartum, and I will continue seeing her as long as she practices. And I have like 5, 6 friends that I've gotten that I recommended to see her, and they all see her religiously.
Wow.
She is just like exactly what I want. And I mean, it depends on what you're wanting from therapy, but I strongly recommend
I don't feel unfulfilled right now. Like I feel pretty okay, but like I think that's also the thing, like if things were to pop off, I also want to know that I can talk to somebody.
Yeah, it's nice having that solid base. And with her, we do a lot of work of like going back and figuring out what has made me the way that I am. And I do think that the best time to go to therapy is when you're okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Because when you're not okay, that's when I lean to medication. Yeah. When you're like, okay, I cannot handle life right now. I'm spiraling. Medication can help pull you out of it and then do the work. When you're deep in it, of course, therapy is also helpful. But that's just my approach. I feel like working on yourself when you're okay is so much more useful and beneficial because it just goes a lot further.
No, you're so
You have the capacity. And when you're not well, it's a lot harder to actually follow through and do those things. So, yeah, I think like almost like massage, it's most beneficial in physio to like exercise all the time, not just when you're weak.
Yeah.
Because that's how you keep strong.
That's fair.
So, yeah, I strongly recommend. I'll give you I
yeah.
I want to ask her if she'd come on to talk about EMDR.
Yeah.
She's the one that did well, we have to do more, but I don't understand how EMDR works, but it was incredible for me. Wow. So I would love to hear about how it works. I don't know if that's a conflict of interest though.
Well, and that's like
so I'll have to ask
she's welcome to it, obviously. Like I think that'd be really, really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, even if like somebody like that else. She wanted to recommend, or even somebody that you could recommend to me, or but yeah,
if you want to go see her, she's in Calgary. I'll plug
that.
her, Wild Path.
Oh.
She works particularly with prenatal, postnatal, and like perimenopausal, and helps with parenthood, like really supporting women through the journey of, well, and men, but I think it's through this wild path. That life and womanhood is a wild path.
It is a wild path.
Yeah, and so her name is Trina. She's the best. I love Trina.
Okay.
I seriously have like 6 friends that see her religiously.
Wow.
Might be 7. Our entire friend group sees her.
Oh my god.
She's the best. The goat.
All right. I love that. I have to pee so bad, by the way.
Okay, well, should we wrap this up?
Okay. I'm like sitting here. I'm like, my hips hurting a little bit. I'm getting a little contorted, and
I just spilled my whole life.
But I didn't want to interrupt you. Like, I was like, this is great.
You wear Depends.
I'm gonna wear diapers from now on. Actually, I heard this theory. I don't know where I heard it. I think it was on a podcast somewhere. Where like, there's a theory that like people that go to like those full weekend festivals just wear Depends all weekend because the porta potties are so disgusting now. So like that wild like festival goers just go Depends.
For real?
I don't know. I don't know, but it would be smart. It's a theory.
I mean, it would. Or maybe
but I feel like it would actually be a little bit safer. No, I don't know. You're pooping your pants.
Can I tell you a secret?
What?
One time in junior high with the girl, I don't know if this part is going to hit the pot. I hope it doesn't. The girl that could queef on command.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, we had a lot of fun. We were in junior high. We went to Walmart and bought condoms and Vaseline and Depends. And we went back to her house and we put condoms on our feet with Vaseline and slid around her kitchen floor and wore Depends and peed in them. I did not pee in mine.
Were you high?
No, we were just stupid. Sign number 1, I had ADHD.
Is that a sign?
It has to be.
Okay.
Does any sane child do that for fun?
How old were you?
We were in grade 7.
Please tell me this isn't when she started queefing.
She was already queefing on command.
Why? Like, okay, that's the word that gets me. Like, I could like feel it in the back of my throat. Like, what's the word?
But yeah, so she peed in her diaper with the condoms on her feet. We had no pants on, just diapers with the condoms on our feet and Vaseline, sliding around this poor lady's kitchen floor.
Her mother's.
Covered in Vaseline. We tried to wipe it up, but as kids, you don't clean that up. Her mother's kitchen floor. She probably came home and wanted to beat us. Anyways, she, I almost just said her name, peed in the diaper and the diaper did not hold. She did a full bladder pee and then she pissed on the carpet. So, although you're like, a diaper, it doesn't take a full. It
doesn't hold everything?
I think it's not if you're like an adult that can hold their full bladder until it's full and then releases it. I think it's like you're constantly peeing a little, like a baby.
Incontinence kind of thing.
Yeah, you don't wear a diaper unless you're incontinent.
That's true.
Like a baby or somebody that can't hold it, because then you're always, and then you change it before it's a full bladder's worth.
Okay, a funny postpartum question.
Yeah.
Did you do the pads or did you just go full diaper?
Well, I had C-sections with both.
Oh, girl. So you didn't bleed at all? Like?
Oh, I bled a lot.
No, but I mean like through your hoo-ha.
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Really?
Which I didn't expect at all.
Oh.
Because you're still I was going to bleed. Things. Because it's the wound in your uterus that's healing. That's where the blood comes from. Because I thought I'd bleed less. No, I bled a lot.
But isn't it your body passing all the things?
It's because your placenta detaches from your uterus.
Yeah.
So think of how large that wound is. That's a wound.
Yeah.
On your uterus. That's the size of what? I don't even know how to describe
I don't know.
This.
I just
a dinner plate,
bleeding.
they say. So a dinner plate sized wound that needs to heal. That's where all your blood comes from.
We probably don't need this in the podcast.
It could be in the birth episode. It should be in there.
Okay. Yeah.
I keep kicking this. But yeah, bled a lot. And I was too fat for the diapers. I wanted a diaper that fit, but I was too fat. I couldn't find one that was comfortable.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm sure you weren't.
No, definitely
It just wasn't comfortable.
No, I was ripping you know what? I do not find the word, like, saying I'm too fat, that's not a negative thing to me.
I think it's lovely that you've found empowerment in it.
I truly don't. And because I don't think that being fat and being beautiful are two different things. I truly don't. So when I call myself fat, because I will on this podcast, it's just a fact. And I'm okay with that.
I will heal with you. Like, honestly, you were literally the soulmate that I needed.
Aw. Because I am fat. Yes, I am also beautiful.
Yes, you are.
Those two things, like, I don't view being fat fat isn't a swear word. Fat isn't, like, it's just a fact.
It's amazing.
And that's okay. So, yeah, I was too fat for the diapers. But they just were, like, ripping as I was putting them on. So I was like, okay, 2XL panties from Joe Fresh with a massive pad will do. I still have them and I wear them
Last weird ass thing that I say is, okay, so I'm wearing, like, you said, like, to get, like, bodysuits. Well, I found this, like, old, like just like a body shaping tank top that I wanted for postpartum. And it just, like, has, like, the, not like a built-in bra, but has, like, you know, some support.
Yeah.
And, like, I've just been wearing this, like, all week because it was so comfortable.
Yeah.
And I looked at the size today. It's a 2XL. Girl, if you saw this, it looks like a small. That is what is wrong with our, like,
what's
our
wrong?
view
But what's wrong
of
with being a
things.
2X?
But my point is if this is a 2XL, what does a small look like? And that's the warping of things.
Yeah.
Where, like, even, like, for like, sizing, I still am anywhere from a size small to an extra large. Well, now a 2XL.
Yeah.
Like, that is why we have to, like, condition ourselves to say that our bodies at whatever weight has nothing to do with beauty.
And I also, truthfully, at this point, I don't care what size it is. It's just the pants. It's not me.
I think for the first time, I'm not so conscious. Like, I would, like, even though I liked a pair of jeans, like, I wouldn't, like, if I had to go up a size in some jeans, I wouldn't buy them. Even if, like, I was like, okay, like, I try on, like, a size 6 and I'm like, okay, like, this fits, but I could use a size bigger. I wouldn't get the size bigger.
I did a lot of work in therapy with that.
That's amazing. Okay, so I need to know the therapist.
Because I think that I very much felt that way previous in life. But I just, like, your weight and the size of your body is the most least interesting thing about you. Truthfully. Do you think that your kids are going to be like, I love my mommy because she wears a size 6 jean?
That's fair.
Nobody gives a flying fuck. And it's just an arbitrary number. Just like, to me, I do weigh myself frequently. As somebody that's saying this, I also am trying to actively lose a bit of weight. Not because I think that I can't live a happy, fulfilled life at this weight. I just had a baby. I'm not very comfortable in my body. Not saying that the shape of my body will stop me from doing anything. It will not. I will never let that be the case. If I'm wearing a bathing suit or if we're going swimming, I am not letting the way that my body might not feel the way I want it to feel right now stop me from doing that. I will never let that stop me from doing a single thing with my children. Before it would have. But I don't love the way it feels in my body. It's kind of hard to wipe my ass because my fat's in the way. That's just a fact.
Okay.
It's just a fact. Like, so I would love to feel like sitting in an airplane is a little bit more comfortable. I have a lot of healthy habits. So, like, I think health is extremely important.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm aware that being overweight is not necessarily great for your health. Like, all of those things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
And being fat isn't a bad thing. All of those things can exist.
Yeah.
So I am actively trying to lose a little bit of weight. I'm doing my triathlon. I want to be lighter, so running is easier. So I weigh myself frequently to kind of track my progress. My weight doesn't bother me. It's an arbitrary number. It's just a number on a scale. If I go on my scale, it's going to be different than the scale at your home. It's going to be different. Why does the number matter? It's just a metric. And I view that way with pant size too. And every brand is different. So it just doesn't even matter.
This is something I need therapy for. Like, the size of my jeans thing, not so much a thing now.
Yeah.
When I was much younger, yes, absolutely. Because, like, I had a hard time with, like, associating with myself. Yeah. There's a lot of self-confidence where, like, I didn't know who I was. So I was always, like, grasping at straws. Like,
yeah, and you were letting the way that other people viewed you define as who you are.
Absolutely. And now it's just, I still disassociate myself. Like, when I see myself, like, when I'll watch this back or, like, even, like, sometimes with my voice. Like, now I'm better with my voice. But when I watch this back, I'll literally be like, who is that? It's interesting. I know. But it's because
I understand that.
I don't recognize myself at this weight.
Yeah.
You know, like, when I see pictures of me, like, a year ago, like, when I guess even further than a year ago because it was before being pregnant, like the time in between. Actually, okay, this one was really bad. When I was very swollen in the face after Blake.
Yeah.
Like, I dropped really quickly and then somehow it was just like all in my face. Like, I had a lot of hormonal weight.
Yeah.
And I could not drop for the life of me. And once she hit 2 years old, it got very easy for me to drop.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I feel like myself again. And then I got pregnant.
I actually did the same thing.
Right. And it was like, it's just like looking at your face and being like, whose puffy face is that?
Yeah.
And disassociating. And that's something that I know that I need therapy to work on. I just don't have the right therapist where like I would feel comfortable talking, because associating with your body and with your image is very, like, that's a very personal thing for me. It's something that I think Steve's the first person I've ever connected with really on that.
Yeah.
Where he's always like, oh, you're beautiful, you know, lovely. But he seems to get it where I'm like, I'm just not recognizing myself. And he's like, okay, I get that.
I think this is a very great thing for you to like try to find a therapist that use that as your starting point, and then let it blend into something else.
Identifying myself as something, like, I think that's why I connect so much with motherhood, is because it's an outer body experience for me, where like motherhood is my only, like, I identify very strongly as a mother.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm okay. And maybe that's where like I'm so confident being a mother, but I'm not confident being Caitlin.
Whereas I'm very confident being Samantha, but I'm not as confident in being a mother.
This is going to be such a good journey. Like, this is going to be, oh my God, that is the perfect way to end this episode.
I love where this went.
Yes,
that's girl. A crazy recognition, because I've been beating myself up, and I almost feel guilty of the fact that I'm so confident in me, but not as confident as being a mother. And I hear of a lot of people getting lost in motherhood, and I honestly don't. I did at first, but I feel like I've found me more in motherhood. I don't know, but I don't. Yeah, interesting. Oh, well, I am very interested to see kind of where we go. And
same. A lot of this podcast was me finding myself without motherhood.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel a little bit guilty, because like with Blake, I was very obsessed. Like, shouldn't out Steve like this, but the other day he kind of made a comment like, you could hear Blake whimper and you would be awake. With Wyatt, you can kind of sleep through it a little bit.
I was the same.
It's very different, because like when we were in an apartment, she was very close to us. Now, if I'm like, I don't have his camera on, because I can hear him cry through the wall, because his room's connected to ours. Yeah. But she was across the hall in our apartment, and I had the camera on, and I could hear a whimper and I'd be up. But with Wyatt, like, I hear him through the wall and then I go attend to him. But there's some times where Blake wants me to sleep with her. She has a sound machine. Wyatt has a sound machine. I can't hear it. And like, that's, you know, whatever. But if it were Blake, I probably would have heard it. Like, I can hear Blake down the hall from, I'm very connected to Blake. With Wyatt, I think there's something where like now my mind goes more into, how am I going to give them the best life? And right now, yes, I'm giving them everything I have when I'm here. But I know that my obsession with them doesn't really come with me being a good mother. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
wow.
Now it's me getting out of the house that I think is the best thing for them.
Well, I can get you out of that damn house, girl. And I think we can both help each other.
Yeah.
That is what a nice
I love this podcast.
Moment of recognition.
Heck yeah. We have something special, girl.
Wow.
Say it every time.
I love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.
Okay. Love you, bye. That's it for this episode of Good Girls Have Anxiety. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and review. If your brain's still spiraling, honestly, same. Follow us on Instagram at Good Girls Have Anxiety, email us at goodgirlshaveanxiety@gmail.com, and send it to a friend. We appreciate every share, download, and engagement. Take a breath, unclench your jaw. You're doing great. And remember, being anxious does not make you broken. It makes you human. Okay, love you, bye.